Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last episode, you know what, I'm not gonna go into it. If you want to know what happened last episode, you should go and check it out. We're doing more of the class trial. I don't really want to go explain what happened because it's a lot. So, yeah, let's just jump right in. I feel like I'm getting closer to the end of this game, so I want to just keep moving forward. But this is probably the last episode I'm going to record today, so if I don't finish it today, I'll just have to record it tomorrow. Alright.
Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Oh. So she was in the morgue.
She was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else on the body the body could have been stored. Violet.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
The biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
The proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. There's something that made its way from the biolab to the garden.
I got it!
The tarp.
What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab? Could you be talking about...
I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about...
By the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What? He's trying to keep him off track.
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up. The moment of truth. Oh shoot.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Ah! What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! 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 Ah! What? What do you want? I'm not listening!
What?
Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
He's not listening.
Are you sure about this? I'm not listening!
What? Why is it not working?
I refuse to give up yet.
I'm so confused. I was doing good though.
Are you sure about this?
Okay. Where is... Reload is the tab key. Favorite time, space key. Final strike. Once you've destroyed the enemy's influence gauge. Huh. Use the mouse wheel to choose. Okay.
That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! I'm not listening!
This should prove
There
it.
we go. Okay.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in. And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
9 lights don't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is 10. Because he said only.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was 6th, then Hifumi was 2nd. Celeste was 8th. Sakura was 9th. And victim number 10 was Mukuro. So 10 people in all?
10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
Yep, I was right.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
The reasons there are less bodies than murders. The explanation for more murders than victims. Why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? Only 9 murders took place. There weren't actually 10 murders, but 9. That's why there are 9 bodies. That's patently untrue. Counting Monokuma's executions, there have indeed been 10 murders. I think we can all agree on that. Actually, you're completely right. So, the reasons there are less bodies than murders? What? The explanation for more murders than victims. Why is that?
I got it! What about if the same person was killed twice?
Huh?
I'm lost
Killed
now.
twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far. But one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
I'm very lost.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as
Oh,
Mukuro
okay.
Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
Oh.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious. Because Kyoko's totally delusional.
I'm still kind of confused.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mando Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu... whatever? Or maybe... Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
Mukuro died from the wounds she had all over her body. Wasn't there someone else who suffered this sort of
Who
injury?
is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata, Chihiro Fujisaki.
No, that's not what I meant.
Mondo Owada.
Leon.
Who is this someone
Maybe.
else that Mukuro was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
The way that it's doing, it's just... the purple is...
someone else that Mukuro was it Junko Leon Kuwata?
Okay, so I need to do the...
Chihiro Fujisaki, Mondo Kiyotaki Fumiyama Celestial, or maybe no. There's no way anyone was murdered twice.
I can't do it. How do you get rid of that? You can eliminate white noise with your silencer by targeting it and pressing the right mouse button.
Who was it? Saya Junko Enoshi Leon Kuwata?
Oops. I did not mean to do that.
Shoot.
This is hard.
Who was it? Junko Leon Chihiro
Oh, shit.
Mondo Owada? Kiyotaki Fumi Celestial, or maybe there's no way anyone
Oh, okay,
was
so that,
murdered
yeah.
twice.
That's what that does. Okay. I need to do the right click.
Anyone was murdered twice.
No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, this is hard. Too many controls.
Is this someone?
I'm getting frustrated.
Leon Kuwata?
I'm supposed to hold it down. Hold it down. Hold it down. I'm not doing it right.
Is this someone? There's no way anyone was murdered twice.
There we go. No.
Murdered twice.
It doesn't say what kind of wounds they are.
Is this someone else that was it? Saya Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Mondo Kiyotaki Fumi Celestialu, or maybe there's no way anyone was murdered twice.
There we go. Okay, it's Junko. I mean, she died really fast.
Junko. Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered...
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
So let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
Then it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive.
No.
She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died.
No.
So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro? But can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive. I'm tired of these.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
No,
That was
it's
easy.
wrong.
At least it's an easy one.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone's made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. There's only one person it could be. Junko.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it, I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse, like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely, and I can say for sure.
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her. She was dead. I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely. Maybe she used some sort of trick. Heyman's Gambit. How did I just fail? I'm confused.
I refuse to give up yet.
I'm not sure why I died. Replacement? Yeah, it's the red letters. Replaced.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain how they could have switched. They switched at the beginning.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So you're saying the Junko we first met was actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was.
Yep.
So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body.
Yep.
They were the
Oh,
same fake
yeah.
red nails she was
That's
wearing when we
true.
all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
He's not saying
The
anything.
reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid. Afraid? What's that mean, afraid?
Alright, I think I might actually have to go ahead and end this episode here. Because I have no idea how long this next part is gonna be. Because we're getting close to the end of the class trial. If I do finish it up really quickly, I might try and record this tomorrow. Record the rest of it. If I do finish it up really quickly, then I could just add on to this one. But, I want to, I need to, stop recording. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please go and check out some other Let's Plays that I've done down in the description below. I've done a lot of other games that you can go and check out, and I'm planning on doing a lot more in the future, so please subscribe if you have not already. I'm also on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook if you want to go check out my social media. And I've been streaming on Twitch for a few years now, so if you want to go hang out with me while I play games like these, you definitely should. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturday afternoons in Pacific Standard Time. So, if you want to come hang out and chat with me while I play games like this, you definitely should. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time in my video. Bye.